Okay. We are live. Sorry, Streamlabs was like, we can't hear your mic, and I see the bar moving, and I'm like, I don't understand what you mean. So, if anyone pops into this stream, let me know if you can hear me or not. Anywho,
I can
we're
let you know
back.
real quick because I can just check the link.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, but the message.
Yeah, I can
went
hear
away.
you.
Okay, fine. Good. Yeah, we're back. I don't remember the last time we recorded. I don't know. It's been a while, and
2
things have
weeks
been
ago.
really 2 weeks ago. Okay, that's actually not too bad for a little brief break. It's Pagan Pride season. If you're a follower of the podcast for a significant length of time, August is always like my crazy month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also my fucking crazy month too this month because I have to start my show, and as you can see, I'm just surrounded by like moving boxes and shit.
That dress though, you really look like, I don't know, like you just did like a show, right? And like you're like in your dressing room, and like I'm picturing like a long cigarette holder as like a nice accessory,
Ugh.
you know?
I'll tell you what, if I can end up having that level of success in life so that I'm not constantly stuck trying to fucking survive on rock bottom,
Right.
be fucking nice.
Indeed.
You know, it's funny.
Right.
I never noticed how shitty the camera on this phone is until I used my actual camera on the computer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This one's like maybe 30 frames a second, like if you see how many gaps there are on stuff.
People are primarily listening, not watching, so that's the good thing
Yeah,
about
I know,
doing a
but
podcast.
podcasts that have video do better these days, which like
Do
y'all,
they?
that's not the purpose of the podcast. Yeah, statistically, podcasts that have video have been doing way better lately. I watch a lot of podcasts. The benefit to me being a podcaster is I'm really into the format. I like listen to fuck tons of podcasts and shit. Shout out why am I fucking struggling to say his name? Hassan. Why did I want to call Hassan Hakim? Like fuck. No, Hassan Piker. I've watched a shitload of him, as I'm sure y'all know who he is. Yeah, I fucking a lot of people do video streams these days, and it's
Look, we
kind of the
did
new
it
format of
before it
podcasting
was
is people streaming.
cool. We
I'm
did it
gonna kill
before
my
it was
camera
cool.
because it's bouncing around too much.
It's fine.
Yeah, we did it before it was cool. So, how y'all been? It's been like 2 weeks since we recorded.
Like, we've been okay, all things considered, like, just from a life perspective, like life is still going on, and still, we're still doing the things that we need to do. Like I said, it's Pagan Pride season, and not just like Philly, but like across the nation, and I think maybe internationally. I think there are some events internationally. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, they do Pagan Pride up here in Canada around this time too.
Okay. So that's what I like about it, is like the season comes up, but it's not just Philly. I'm starting to branch out, and I'm getting the opportunity to check out some other ones. I found out there's like at least 4 in the state of Pennsylvania alone that I'm aware of as of right now, and kind of sort of my goal is, I think I'd like to rebuild, like the National Pagan Pride Network. Whether or not we can get all of these little groups under one umbrella, I don't know if that particularly matters, but at least in one communication channel. I think that's sort of my vision for it. And we checked out Northeast PA Pagan Pride yesterday. That was up in Wilkes-Barre. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Wilkes-Barre? I don't know. Wilkes-Barre. That's how everyone says it. Nepa. Northeast PA Pagan Pride. Really nice park, beautiful park. Smaller, like small event. I think maybe like 30 vendors. I think if I could count. But they had these really nice pavilions that had good acoustics for workshops. So people. It wasn't like sitting around in a patch of grass trying to project your voice among all these other noise things going around. So but yeah, I was there with our kindred. It was just me. Rue was having a birthday extravaganza with her sister. But yeah, I was out there, and it just gave me this sense of purpose, I guess, kind of feeling. I was like, oh right, this is where it all started for me, like with all of the community stuff I do. And honestly, like I don't think I would do this podcast if I didn't start getting involved with Pagan Pride. And I think, yeah, because it's like it's all wrapped around this idea of community and building something, and I think that's just like kind of what I'm put here to do, kind of thing. But I really like that it's Pagan Pride season. I'm also stressed that it's Pagan Pride season because Philly is at the end of this month, and that's like in 2 weeks from now. So, with all honesty, I don't know if we're going to be able to record another episode in the month of August. I might just.
Yeah, I have to probably take a rain check on that because I have to
Yeah.
fucking pack every goddamn weekend day that I have.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't have so much to pack that it will be strenuous, but yeah, I'm fucking booked solid this August between my show and my move. And it's also my goddamn birthday month, and I'm not even gonna have
Right.
fucking time to celebrate my birthday. I'm gonna have to fucking rain check it till September.
It's so funny. I always downplay my birthday. Like I'll like I don't know what it is. I'm just like, no one bother me on my birthday. I'll schedule a Pagan Pride meeting. I don't care, whatever. Like
Literally.
but
I got
no.
hired on his birthday, so it's my work anniversary, which is way more important.
I got crazy trauma about my birthday being a kid who grew up unpopular in a small town who a lot of people didn't come to my birthday, and I typically had to spend most of them alone. So I try to make the best out of my birthday because it's typically the most depressing day of my fucking life every year, right up there with Christmas. But yeah,
A lot of people
it's,
have that experience about their, but like a lot of people don't enjoy their birthday. And I can see how like for some people it can be very important to like reclaim, the joy of your birthday instead of it being like, yep, another year.
I am sure fucking trying, bud.
Yeah. I feel that way every year around Christmas time. I'm always like, I'm gonna try and be festive, like I'm gonna try and have the the Yuletide spirit, and it's just really, really hard. You have all this other bullshit hanging on top of it.
Yeah.
But
Well, I got a topic for y'all today if you want to dive into it.
sure.
Have you ever heard of a little book called Passport to Magonia?
Never heard of it.
It's by Jacques Vallée, and he's a well-known ufologist, right? The guy has written a lot of really impactful books in the field. Okay, so I had this moment earlier this week where I woke up from a dream, and I was like, "Oh shit, I need to listen to Passport to Magonia. That was supposed to be next on my list. I should go spend my audiobook credit on it, right?"
Hmm.
Bust open Audible, go to it. Audible pulled Passport to Magonia off of its collection list. And I was like, wait,
Of
what?
course. Of course
Is
it
anything
did.
else from Jacques Vallée getting pulled? Nope, just Passport to Magonia. And I'm like, so what the fuck is in this book that made it get pulled, right?
Yeah.
Because like if an audiobook's already been produced, that's the majority of the cost in it. Hosting it is literally a zero cost
Yeah.
because they're kilobytes. Audiobooks
Right,
are
yeah.
fucking small. They're compressed, right? So the hosting service to download that's like literally next to nothing on their costs. All of Audible's costs come off of producing. Why was Passport to Magonia pulled, do you think?
Well, probably because it, I don't know, gave people some information that was good or useful, or, helped them break out of the Matrix in some fucking way, I'm
So
sure.
I went to YouTube and started looking around. I'm like, well, just because they pulled it off Audible doesn't mean it got pulled off anywhere else.
Yeah,
Couldn't
like, it's
find it
hard
on
to scrub
Spotify.
things.
That's fucking strange. Why was it pulled off Spotify and Audible? So I'm like, okay,
Huh.
what the fuck's going on? Why is Passport to Magonia something I could have bought like 2 months ago suddenly not available, right?
And it's
So I start,
Amazon that owns Audible, right?
yeah. So I
Right.
start doing a little diggy dig, and I don't know if they just pulled it in Canada, but it's not there. But I found it in YouTube, and I started listening, and it's only like 6-ish hours.
Mm.
You know what I did not expect the entirety of the book to be about because it's a UFO book?
Hmm.
Fairies. The whole book is about fairies and people's interactions with fairies. And the whole fucking point of Passport to Magonia, y'all, is laying out the overlaps between modern UFO and like paranormal experiences and old school fae stuff. And I'm telling y'all, it's a fucking perfect circle.
Yeah, I have read some things just in different fairy lore that I've come across, but I have read something and also like just paranormal research and whatnot, but there are a lot of people out there that will say, you know, like there's a lot of similarities between, you know, what we call UFOs or alien encounters and what people experience, you know, as the Fae. And I kind of lean a little bit more toward the idea of it being the Fae.
I actually think they're the same at this point, and I think that the same phenomenon we've been experiencing in modern times, we've been experiencing since pre-modern times, because there have been stories of flying earthenware, as they called it, because they didn't have the word for saucer back in the day, but earthenware just means like clay bowls, right? These things have been fucking detailed from like ancient China to like all across the world, North America, like Blood So Said So podcast did a episode that really ground my gears this week, where they talked about Native American history, but didn't include any Native people on it, and proceeded to talk about theories about how the natives were in contact with Templars, which, like, I don't know if y'all know this, but it's a well-griped point in the world of not white people, where white people constantly come over and try to exert their history over top of other people across the world. Like, oh, look, that's why you had understanding of the mysteries, because the fucking Templars are coming to teach you. And it's like, y'all don't think that maybe people could have come to these conclusions on their own type thing? Right? So there's, like, a lot of shit that I've seen where people get into conspiracy theory about, like, what's happened in prehistory in, like, Native America here in North America. But, like, ultimately, what I find is more fucking fascinating than anything else is the just sheer prevalence of fairy stories, right? They call them little people. I'm not going to go too much into this, right? Because I don't really feel it's my place to talk about it. But all you have to do is, like, look up little people in North America, and you're going to find a plethora of stories of, like, these beings that have very similar characteristics to what you would consider UFO things to have. And at this point, I actually think that they're just the same fucking thing, and that we've been trying to understand them for a long time. Like, basically, let me put it like this. I don't like to refer to humans as like, oh, we're just insects to them, because that's a very, like, supremacist view. But let me put it like this. Have you ever had a fly get stuck in your car?
Yeah, actually,
and you want to get the fly out of your car, but you can't, right?
Yeah,
so your options are either for the fly to die in your car.
Yeah, you have all 4 windows open, and that thing is like, nah, I'm staying right
But
here.
hear me out.
I tell you, a fly just landed directly in front of me. When I tell you,
I saw it in the camera.
So hear me out on this. Let's say that you're the fly and you have your levels of perception, but you're not capable of perceiving glass, because glass is not an object in their world, right?
Right.
So to them, there's an invisible force field keeping them in a separate object that they can't get out of, and other beings can't necessarily see into. And if they do get out of the car, it's probably at a massive distance away from where they were originally, because they've gotten in and gotten pulled for a ride. And next thing you know, that fly that goes into your car that pops out is fucking 2 kilometers or more away, going, what the fuck is this? Where the fuck am I? Right? They probably die over there, because flies have like a short life. But could you imagine this from the perspective of a human being that can't necessarily perceive the folds of dimensional time space because we're not equipped to? And then there's another being that, like, literally moves through the folds of dimensional time space because that's how, like, their physiology works. And then you kind of get caught up in that with them and get pulled over to their side, and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, oh shit, okay, you're here, what's up? And it's like, you're the fly that's stuck in a fucking car, right?
Yeah, honestly, in a way. Like, I think what I was kind of saying is, like, we've lost a lot of fairy lore, right, at this point. Like, the modern human has lost a lot of that fairy lore. That's just all quite literally Disney fairy tale at this point for a lot of people, you know? So, so I think with, like, science and modern this and blah blah blah, and, you know, we know space is a thing that, you know, we can go and explore and look at and stuff. So I think that it just made more sense to the modern human to explain fairies as aliens or UFOs or whatever. I just think it's. So I do agree with you. It really is the
And what does
same
fairy
thing.
even mean other than a placeholder word to describe something that they're experiencing, right? Like,
Right.
we often will be like, oh, but fairies aren't real, but these UFO aliens are. And it's like,
Right.
one, how do you know they're coming from another planet? Two,
Mhm.
how do you know they're not fairies? Three, how do you know these are not all the same type of phenomenon and that we're not equipped to perceive some type of dimensional time space, right? But I
Mhm.
gotta say, it's a wild experience opening up a fucking ufology book and then for them to be talking about sylphs and zephyrs and these beings that are invisible in the sky that magicians throughout the ages have been able to command and how you can make pacts with them. And literally at one point in the book, he says, but I will not be going into this and how to make them appear because this veers strictly into the territory of witchcraft. And I'm like, y'all hitting the fucking button on this one, okay? I'm
mm.
gonna link it in the Discord to the exact one I'm listening to. If y'all want to go find Passport to Magonia, oh come on, pause it. But like, I'm telling y'all, this book is worth the fucking 6 hours of your life it'll take to get through it. You'll be asking way more questions at the end than you had at the beginning.
Hmm.
And Magonia is the word that they use to describe the fairyland.
Hmm.
So that's what
like
Magonia is.
reminds me of like Mabinogion. I don't know if that's maybe derivative of that.
Mabinogion is the books in the Celtish world
Yeah.
that details the stories of the heroes, and I do believe it has like Caradwyn and all of that shit.
Yeah, it's like that kind
Live show notes, I'm dropping it right in there for y'all. Bam! You got the whole fucking playlist of Passport to Magonia now at your fingertips. Go find out about some fucking aliens and maybe get abducted, maybe not. Who knows?
And then I think that also kind of falls into cryptozoology too. Like I think it's all kind of in the same.
How could it not?
Yeah, like it's all within the same wheelhouse. And also, the important thing to keep in mind, like when people talk about fairy or the fae or whatever, is that they are not little Tinkerbell type creatures all the time.
I've heard that they can be. Oh,
They
all the
can
time. Yeah, yeah,
be,
yeah.
but
They
some of
can
them
be,
are
but that's not the
terrifying.
only ones.
Yeah, and some
No,
of
and in
them
fact, this
could
book's quite good for
probably.
detailing like brownies and trolls and all that different kinds of stuff. Yeah, and like goblins and like the ones that look like little black hairy people. Not to say that their skin's black,
Yes.
but like they're covered in black hair, like what we would have referred to as a troglodyte back in the day. Those people that were short, only covered in black fur and had sharp teeth and lived in caves. The word troglodyte was made for that, right?
Mm.
There's different types of fairy or fae creatures that people have been interacting with, and they're not all the good people or the good neighbors, even though like they talk a significant amount in this ebook about the good people.
Mm. But what's interesting is that it doesn't veer into. So it just talks about them. It says like they exist. Here's some information about sightings. This,
I'd
that, and the
say
third. But
read
it
the book
doesn't.
yourself because I'm not fully done it and I can't give this surmisation. I'm only about 4 chapters in. I'm pretty much exactly halfway, right? So I'm at the point where they're detailing a shitload of fairy abductions and interactions that and how they like dovetail with a lot of ufology experiences and abductions and shit. So
Mm.
I'm like in the eyeballs deep part of the Fae book. And there's even like warnings in the book of like, oh, if the Fae take you to their world, make sure you don't eat any of the food or drink any of the water. And like even listening to this, I'm like, oh, it's probably because they're from a different dimensional space. And oh fuck, I shouldn't say that because that's like an origin story from a certain tribe and I don't really have permission to tell it. Fuck. Let me paraphrase it. Give me 2 seconds. So without really giving anything away or explaining their story too much, their origin story relates to not being able to go back to the world that they came from because they ate food and water here. And I almost
Mm.
wonder if there's like a thing to do with reality where if you move to a different layer, right? Like let's say that you move to Elfheim or Magonia or whatever the fuck you call the Fey world, right? Let's say
Mm.
that you're there, right? And you have certain types of material and dimensional aspects. You may not be able to take those dimensional aspects that you eat back down to a lower dimensional level, right?
Mm.
Like, imagine how we can interact with stuff that's two dimensional, like drawings and artwork, but we have to use tools that interact with the two dimensional space, right? You have to have like pencils, you have to have all of this stuff. And if you're like bleeding on your paper, that may not necessarily translate into artwork. Or like, for example, if you lit the page on fire, it's going to do something in a dimensional space to that second dimensional space, because it's something that's occurring outside of it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that why you can't drink water or eat food from the Fey realm is that like they have the ability as beings to move through these spaces, because that seems tied to their physiology or technology, but that there are hardened parts of reality that aren't necessarily supposed to shift into each other. And it would not be the first story I've heard where people ate something in a world they came to and they were not allowed to return to the world that they were from because they ate something there.
Mm-hmm.
The whole fucking thing. The whole fucking thing. In real talk, I was out at Torrance Barrens. I'm not going to get into the prophecy too much because Dawn keeps saying, quit talking about the prophecy. Look, I'll tell you this. There's no fucking greater curse in your life than getting a goddamn prophecy, because if you talk about it to people, they get pissed because you're like, you're not supposed to talk about it. And it's like, well, then maybe you guys should be less fucking vague so I could figure this stuff out and I don't have to fucking talk to everybody. But no, they're not going to come out and tell you what you should fucking do outright. So the whole reason I was at Torrance Barrens was trying to fucking run into some Fae and get abducted, if I'm keeping it a buck. Or aliens, or whatever the fuck they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get the fuck off this planet for a couple of days, just saying.
I see. So you're trying to get sucked into the Feywild or something like that.
Something in my very essence of being tells me I need to go to the Fey realm and come back, and that there's something important I need to do there. What is it? I don't know, but I've had this call for like close to a year now, and it's driving me fucking insane. I need a 3-day break from this planet.
Fair. Wanted to draw attention to the chat real quick. We do have 2 viewers here. I forgot to post in the Discord that we were going live, so awesome that you have your YouTube notifications on. We appreciate that. Just wanted to say hello to Sage and Andy goes by another name in our Discord, but I am not remembering what that name is. But yes, I believe Andy is also in our Discord. So hello to you both. Welcome.
Yeah, the best.
So yeah, keeping it a buck, I'm trying to get abducted.
I feel that.
Yeah, you know, I kind of been feeling that too. Like my dad always used to tell
Every
me
time I see him. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you go. Yeah.
I didn't have anything to say. Just...
Oh my god.
Someone say something, come on.
I don't even know what I was gonna say now, so.
It's been a rough last couple weeks because we've all just been so... I can say this, me and Rue, but just really been focused on the eat, work, sleep, existential crisis part of living over here. So yeah, that's just kind of where we've been at, and I think Sophia's kind of been going through the same. So the brains are not firing on all cylinders today, not at all.
I'm going through similar, but also like I'm gonna keep it a buck real hard with y'all today. I've always felt like it's my job to try and save the world, and everyone's always like, "Oh, but it's not your job," and I'm always like, "Bitch, yes it is," and they're like, "No, somebody else is gonna do it." I'm like, "You don't get it. Nobody else is gonna fucking do it.
Yeah,
me the one to." Oh,
that's my hubby.
It ain't just fucking work, eat, play balance over here. It's how do I overthrow the fucking government, fucking CIA psychic spy program bullshit and all the fucking crap they've been doing getting up my ass lately. Probably more than I should say on the air, but like whatever. I am past the point of giving a fuck about this world and the shadowy elite fucks who run everything. I am ready for them to either just shoot me, throw me off a fucking building, or have me taken into the fucking Feywild, because I am done. I am over this fucking world as it is. It can go straight to fucking hell. I'm not participating in this anymore, right? I will fight back how I have to. Honestly, I'm at the point where Johnny Silverhand was fucking right and everybody should just go to BlackRock, if you catch my drift. That's why your rent's so expensive. It ain't fucking landlords, it's corporate landlords buying up everything, and they don't resell, and they just accumulate the assets and put it in their fucking pocketbook so they can control the entire market. Let's just kill them all!
Wahoo!
Wahoo!
Yeah, I'm ready for
Wow, Mom! Look at me! I'm a terrorist!
I've tried. I don't know. Like during this episode, like I've tried to dodge, I guess, talking about politics and the world at large. Because every day it just feels like some new fucking
Well,
bullshit brand of evil, you know. And
yeah, but
it's
avoiding talking about politics is politics in and of itself, right? It's just the politics that you don't want to be engaged in it. Not saying that you do that per se, but just when
yeah,
average people are like, I don't talk about politics. Well, cool. You're actually doing it when you say you don't talk about politics because that's politics.
yeah. I see that.
My brain.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
don't.
just no. What do you like? We were talking. We started this podcast because to talk about queer witchcraft and like the experiences of two queer witches, and like obviously that's going to be inherently political because of just the environment that we live in. No, I remember what I was going to say now. I'm like 100% with you, Sophia. Like every time I see like a face circle, I jump in it. I don't care. Like if they offer me a cupcake, I'm eating it. I really, I don't think I'm there right now. Like I have a renewed sense of like actually wanting to stay on the planet, if only for my brother and my sister, because I got to see them yesterday. So that was wonderful. But otherwise, yeah, take me away, please. Because
I
this
do not
world is just
consent to
too
being a
rough.
slave because that's what we
Yeah,
are. I
exactly.
actually remember that week where I called us slaves on the
Mm,
podcast. I
yeah.
actually had 2 weeks later somebody appear to me on the street and had a spirit possess them, and they gave me a talking to about why I shouldn't say that we're slaves because there's so many masters in this world and they don't like people knowing that they're slaves. You know what? I don't care. If seeing your chains is enough to break them, then fucking see your chains for what they are. You are a slave. I don't care who's listening to this. You're not some rich billionaire. You're like me. You're a fucking slave. We don't get a choice. We are subject to choice, okay? We are in chains, and when we acknowledge that, we can break it. But if we can't
Mhm.
call a spade, we ain't never gonna dig out of this fucking hole, you know? So
Yeah.
I am ready to
There's.
die. I am ready to get
I'm
taken to the
here.
fucking Feywild. If I die randomly, by the way, I didn't fucking kill myself. It would have been the government who killed me. I am not suicidal, nor do I have ideation, but I want to be on this fucking planet with how corrupt shit is right now, while these pedo elites are fucking getting off on literally like human trafficking with these ICE raids because like we see all the migrant detention centers and it's all guys in it. Where are the fucking women and children are going,
Right.
y'all?
Where are they going?
Nonstop shit. And like these cunts, they're literally sex trafficking pedophile elites. And they turn around and want to implement like online age verification so they can steal everybody's fucking data for what? Protecting the kids? The very kids that y'all are fucking diddling? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I want all of you to burn the most fucking painful death that you possibly can at this point, dude. Ugh. I want the Fae to come back simply so we can have something to fucking level the playing field against these cunts with, right? There has to be something more. Like, how many mythologies throughout history have talked about, like, light beings who emanate into the world, who, like, make pacts with these greater beings that other people can't see, and then they can do miracles. Like, give me that shit. I will literally fucking die. You can take my life. You can permanently make me exist in the Feywild after that. Just give me a chance to tear this fucking system down because I am over it.
Yeah.
Preach.
I know I seem a little subdued, but like that's when I get. I'm just tired right now because I just cleaned my whole house before, like, you know,
Yeah, man.
podcasting. But
He's also been like operating on like 3 hours of sleep a night
yeah.
basically for the past week, and he's like on the verge of crash out.
So, but when I am awake enough to be angry, um, I'm right there with you.
Oh, I know
It's
you
kind
are.
of it's this idea of like I'll burn it all down before I let you take it kind of thing. It's this idea of, you know, if I will be stronger on the other side, if I will be of more use to this movement on the other side, so be it.
Fucking kill me right now. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be real with y'all. I don't even have to be incarnating right now. I had the option in 2012 when I hit Nirvana to like nope out of this whole fucking reality, and I chose to stupidly stay. I didn't do a bodhisattva vow where I'm like, I will incarnate endlessly until I all beings are liberated. No, I said I'm staying until I die or we all wake up together, right? And it looks like we ain't gonna fucking wake up together at this point, right? So I'm happy to die and never come back to this world if y'all ain't gonna learn your fucking lessons. I know it sounds like so over it, but like,
you're allowed. I mean,
there's only so much suffering you can endure in one lifetime before you're entirely over it and ready to burn shit down. And this brings me back to like the internet censorship law. That is the final straw. I don't think that these companies realize how mad the population is right now and how fucking over it everybody is and how people were literally ready to go Luigi more shit if there was more momentum to do it. You take away the internet, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
That's the only thing keeping society in line right now is the fact that people can appease themselves with their emotional regulation content like One Piece.
Entertainment.
You go and take, and also they're trying to make One Piece illegal. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but there's like,
like
because One Piece. No, I'm not even kidding. Yes, in Indonesia, the straw hat pirate symbol has been. It might be Indonesia, it might be somewhere else. It's officially a terrorist symbol now. You can look it up now because One Piece is about fighting back against corrupt governments. And people were using the One Piece flag to deliver goods to Palestine, and when they were coming in, I shit you not, the straw hat sandal thing is being designated a terror symbol worldwide right now. They are that scared of people rising up and fucking burning this shit down. Think about it. They made the flag from One Piece a terrorist symbol.
Wow.
That just tells everybody, hey, you're terror. No. Think about it. What does a terrorist mean? That you're willing to use violence to get what you need? But doesn't that make the government terrorists? So if you call me a terrorist, that just means that I fight with the same rules that you do, don't you?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where Luigi Mangione, how they cracked down on him so fucking hard, everybody realized, wait a minute, they don't do this for when we get murdered. This is only when a billionaire gets murdered. They're going to realize it, that they are terrorists because they'd be willing to use violence to make their lives better and to free their fellow human beings. You can call that terrorism. You can call that freedom fighting. Call it whatever you want. But it's not going to change the fact that it is where we are at right now.
A shift happened in our culture. I'm sure it happened for a lot of different factors, right? You know, you can't pinpoint anything to one thing. Everything is connected. But a shift definitely happened, especially here, particularly in American politics, is all this corporate money came into the government, and so corporations started just buying laws. They just paid their way, and, you know, a lot of us, like you were saying earlier, Sophia, we're all slaves, so we're just tied to the ball and chain of, you know, go to school, get the job, you know, have kids, get a house, you know, like we're all just caught up in that because, and also like you have to have a job in order to have healthcare in order to survive. So it's just like, we're all just playing this game of like survival, you know? And I don't think enough of us realized what was happening, you know, like with all this corporate money in politics. And also Americans, we have this very shitty attitude of, well, they're all shit, and so I'm not voting. And so a lot of Americans don't vote. And so it just becomes this whole big mess, and now we found ourselves here. I truly believe, I have to believe that we will not slip into total like fascism, authoritarianism, only because like happened so radical. It's happened so quickly. Like everything has happened at such a rapid pace, and what they're not highlighting is how pissed off people are. That's what they're not highlighting, is how pissed off people are. I'm seeing more. So I'm seeing more evidence.
The barometer in the States right now versus 1930s Germany is like black to white, okay? In 1930s Germany, they were goose stepping and the general public was in favor of what they were doing. I'm seeing memes right now. There's a meme and it's like, when I get drafted to World War III and I meet my commanding officer, and it's Eminem throwing a fucking grenade. And I'm like, oh, y'all. I saw that meme and I realized the American Gen Z appetite to invade another country and perform a war is not there. They would sooner frag their commanding officers. Y'all will not be able to have a 1940s Germany style situation because it'll just end up in another civil war. There's not enough unilateral support.
Yeah, there isn't, and they're fracturing within their own. I was just talking to Rue about this earlier about Marjorie Taylor Greene is just like she's swung so right, she's coming to the left. Like she's not perfect. Okay, like she's definitely not by any means perfect, and she ain't no saint and whatever. But she's been saying some things that have really caught me off guard, and I'm like, am I agreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene right now? Like, is this really a
I'll
thing?
say this. I'll take a convert over a saint, because
Yeah.
a saint would actually respect the convert for admitting that they're wrong. Okay. We're far too caught up, and like I mentioned many times, we're far too caught up in ivory tower politics as the left.
Yeah.
Who cares if Marjorie Taylor Greene was on the other side? If she's on our side, fucking pull her in, give her the discourse. I mean, I know these people are shit fucking people at the end of the day,
Oh
right?
yeah,
But
garbage.
if we have
If
a
you can
chance,
utilize them,
the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And at the end of
yes,
the day, if they're still fascists, we can kill them too. But we
yes.
don't, or put them in jail.
It
But we
was
don't
this.
need to make an enemy out of everybody right this fucking second. You know what I mean?
Yes, and that's like the thing is there was a bit of discourse in personal circles about this exact thing, sort of like the tolerance intolerance thing, right? So it's like, you know, if someone is actively like a fascist Nazi piece of shit, you know, like no, I'm not going to welcome you into my circle. You know, you're not welcome here. Because of your ideology. Your ideology completely opposes me. It's not safe. You're not a safe person to interact with. Am I going to hunt you down, try and round you up? Am I going to try and ruin your life? Am I actively going to try and do that? No, I'm not actively going to try and do that. Am I going to tell other people, hey, don't hang out with this person because they're a fucking Nazi? Yeah, I'm going to say that. I will absolutely say that. So, but if
Also,
someone was truly reformed and they were like, yo, shit was fucked. Like what that like if
yeah, you
someone
don't push them
truly
back
had a
into that.
moment, I would be like, all right, let's talk. Because I do believe that people can change. You have to
Mm-hmm.
change.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, well.
But we were kind of talking about how the left has this ivory tower sort of thing, and I think that's where, you know, this comes from is like, well, you know, we can't fight back with violence because we're just like them, you know. We can't do this because that makes it just like them, and it's like you have to do
Real
certain
talk,
things though.
a lot of that comes from people wanting to do something very specific. They're
Mm,
in it to make sure they're on the right side of history, okay?
right.
They're not willing to take a chance. They're not willing to get their hands dirty. I'll tell you this, there's a lot of people who made the world a better place who may not be on the right side of history because they did some hard fucking choices and they made mistakes and shit. But that's what it's like when you're dealing with big global issues like this.
I
Is
mean,
it
the
right
Luigi
to
thing
befriend a
is a
Nazi?
prime example
Hell
of
no.
that.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
The Luigi
exactly.
incident, like, is it? Do I agree that like he should have walked up and just like
No,
if
he did
he
the right
actually
thing.
did it, if he actually did it,
If
okay,
let's assume he did it. He did the
right,
right thing morally and objectively and for a societal standpoint.
right.
He saved lives. He made the system realize that it's gone way too far out of line,
Yeah,
and he
but did he?
rallied the
I
people
don't
for
know if
change.
he did rally people. So it's like he did do a good thing, but it's also we did talk about this initially. It was the loss of the human life. That rings out in the
I think
astral.
it's a good thing to kill a bad person. I'm going to keep it a buck. It is a good thing to kill bad people. I think the loss of bad human life should be celebrated. Okay.
Right.
When that
It's
lady who
getting.
is a CEO for BlackRock died, I was cheering because she's one of the people who's literally using algorithms to buy up all of our housing and make it so we can't even fucking live anymore.
Mhm.
I don't care. I don't care a single bit about these billionaires dying. If that is
Yeah.
violence, I want to talk about all the fucking homeless people who've died. And I know y'all agree with me. I'm just fucking passionate about this.
Oh yeah.
But how many people die of homelessness, right? How many people
Mhm.
die of fucking starvation from policies these people have made that they don't even care about because it'll make them another fucking million? I think that the death of those human lives is a marvel for society, and that getting rid of people who bring us all down like that needs to be done a lot more often, because if we don't kill the aristocracy, they are going to kill us all off. There is no if,
Mhm.
ands, or buts about this. It is a fucking drop down or knock down, drag out, fucking fight to the death. And if we don't accept that, they will win. You know?
Yeah. And I do think people are angry enough, and they're realizing that. Like you're seeing people like getting drug out of town halls and things like that. So people are, getting pissed off enough to.
Not even mentioning how much the Epstein thing has continued to cause flashpoints because it hasn't gone away like I said it wouldn't. And
Yeah.
even though they tried to use Ghislaine Maxwell to exonerate Trump, everybody's actually taking that as much more suspicious than anything else.
Way more
and
suspicious.
they're losing all of the people who would have supported them because they're seeing him like literally exonerating a fucking pedo. And she wasn't just a trafficker; she literally committed those acts too, right?
She
So, like,
trained
he's
them.
exonerating her.
Like
Yep.
she is
And
a horrible
she also
person.
sexually abused them as well.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say she's a victim, she's this, she's that. No, there will be no rehabilitation for Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, there will be a fucking noose, or there will be nothing else, okay? If she gets out of jail, I don't care. That is going to be another fucking straw that breaks the camel's back. People will want to hunt this bitch down and kill her.
Oh yeah,
and she should be killed.
Hunted.
Let's be real. She should be dead right now.
Yeah, I do think that a lot of people are viewing this as even more suspicious, that she's, been moved and shuffled around, and all of a sudden, Donald read a book at the party, or whatever the fuck quote I saw, across my feed.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Oh, you've been frozen this entire time. I really thought.
Yeah, they've been trying to sell that. They've canceled
I really
their camera
thought you were in this meditative, your Thousand Island stare, as you call it.
talking to the seraphim over there, like, hey bro, what's up?
Oh, should be
fucking
fixed now.
shit. And then you spoke, and I was like, your mouth didn't move.
That's funny.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Thousand Island dressing stare, huh?
Yeah.
That's seriously. It's the ruisms. It's just like certain words get twisted up inside my brain and they come
you're
out.
Like, look at you and your Thousand Island stare, and I was like,
Yep. Using atypical in the wrong content.
Yes.
And what's the other thing? For all intents and purposes.
Well, that's just a common thing that people do. But most people say, you usually say that correctly. Most people say, for most intensive purposes, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I thought it's intense and.
Like, it is.
Intense.
Intense and purposes. That's the correct way to say it, but most people write it as intensive purposes.
But yeah,
don't even get me started.
Yeah, grammar.
There's a whole movie called Atypical, and I'm like, I should watch that.
Yeah, it's like when I hear people say nuclear instead of nuclear. There is no second U in nuke. It's not nuclear. Literally the word new, like it's brand new, and the word clear, like you can see through it. Nuclear. It's not nuclear, okay? It's never been nuclear. And if you say nuclear, I'm mad at you and you say it. Sorry. Not sorry.
So that is one of my Philly-isms that does happen sometimes. Sometimes I will say nuclear and
nuclear that bud.
I also grew up with The Simpsons, and I have the clip of Homer in my head. He's like, nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear. It's just the funniest fucking thing.
I like how he's saying it fucking wrong. It's
also sometimes say library. So
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Don, if you're listening, every time you say library, I cringe. I'm like, there's a second R in library.
There is. Just sometimes it gets lost, and it just doesn't come out of my mouth when I
lost
say
in
the
fucking
word.
translation.
It's so funny.
It's that Philly accent.
It is. It's like if you would listen, if you listen to me talk, and I'm sure like people on the podcast are like, oh god, Jay. Like in writing, I'm way better. Like I actually sound like an educated individual.
He's an author.
I ain't got none of that there education.
Yeah. Got educated.
I ain't got none of that there education.
Education.
But yeah, I kind of agree with you, Sophia. I am checked out of it in the sense of like I'm doing my part. I'm doing what I can. I am going to save the world in whatever way I can. You know
who's really gonna save the world though? It's fucking funny to say this, but Zoomers.
So who are the Zoomers?
See,
again?
Gen Z. Let me explain why I say Zoomers.
Okay.
You know what sucks about being millennials? we're tired. We're statistically the generation that's been through more shit than like basically anybody else aside from like the 1920s greatest generation or silent generation. Yeah. And my grandma's from that generation, and we just look at each other in silence and nod and go, "Yep."
And everything's our fault.
Fuck. And we're I hate to break it to you, millennial. Unless you've already put yourself on a quest to save the world, like Jay and I have, you're not going to save the world. You might be alive when the world gets saved, but it's going to be Gen Z. Think about how young they are and how mad they are. Like, we're already halfway dead. I don't mean to be like hyperbolic about it, but we're middle aged. I'm fucking 35, turning 36 this fucking month. Mm-hmm. Okay? I have maybe 15 years of life in me before I am a fucking fossil. Okay? I'm going to give everything I have in this next 15 years, and I'm probably going to die in the process, right? I'm okay with that. I've committed myself to dying in the fucking line to make the world better. But you know who's not committed to dying to make the world fucking better? Gen Z, because they're the pricks who have to live with this. And you really think that they're going to watch their entire future get sold out? The people who literally just quit jobs when they don't want to work them anymore, don't give 2 weeks notice, don't fuck with the system because the system doesn't fuck with them the same way. You really think those people are going to go along with this shit forever? They're going to run around naked Fortnite dance, burning shit to the ground.
Good.
And think about how, mad we are, okay? Now imagine that you're a youth who didn't even get to be 34 before the world went to fucking Nazism, and how goddamn mad that would make you at 17 to 20 years old when you're full of all of your fucking hormones and your muscles are growing like mad and your brain hasn't fully formed.
That's true, because, teenage me, like, I go back to teenage me all the time. Teenage me is constantly in my head. Because I just feel like it was a very authentic. It's such a raw version of yourself. Like when you're going through your teenage years, it's probably the most authentic version of yourself in a way. Because it's just so raw. So
it's also a less authentic version too, because you're trying so hard to conform at the same time.
Right, and conform, but find yourself, but be unique, but be like everyone. It's just such a fucking crazy wild ride. And so I have teenage me screaming constantly. I think that's where the rage comes from, is teenage me, because that's when I was the most angry. Just with age and time and training, you learn to control your temper.
Or go have a fucking cigarette about it, because not everything you can fucking control, and some things you just gotta go have a fucking smoke.
Exactly, you do whatever you can to mitigate, and but teenage me is there, and I feel like that's why I'm, because trust me, like at 34, I finally have a salaried job. I've never had a fucking salaried job in my life, and according to the life plan, I should have had this, when I was 25. I should have had a house and a wife, and this, that, and a third.
All of us should have.
So here I am at 34. I have bought a house. I do have a mortgage. I'm also in a crippling student loan debt that's now past due, and it's fucking my credit, and I have credit card debt and all these things, right? I'm like, I could deal with that. I could deal with debt. I could deal with paying bills, what the fuck ever. But what I can't deal with is fascism. I can't. Won't. Like, you can, no.
Just kill me. Just kill me.
I almost don't even want to file my taxes on principle. I don't want to. I don't fucking want to.
Hear me out. Not filing your taxes means that they get to keep the money. What you should do is
I end up owing every year.
Yeah, well, okay, that's what I'm saying, though, is instead of filing your taxes, because typically that's how you get a return, you should be undergoing the section that makes it so that you don't put any taxes into the government, and they can all fuck off and try and get it out of you later.
That's honestly what I was thinking, is, something like that. But then I'm like, I'm not in a financial position to fight back against something like that. So, like, these are the things that, like, just kind of, like, bounce around in my head. But I'm like, imagine if everyone did that on their work, their W-9 or whatever fucking form it is, whatever's W-4, I think. Mm-hmm. Like, what if everyone went in and just said, "I'm not paying taxes anymore. Nah, I'll pay it at the end of the year."
It would melt down. Down within a week.
Yeah,
and they'd start doing Gestapo-style ice raids on people not paying their taxes, because they will do literally anything they can to maintain control. And the moment that you stop playing their game, they will fucking kill you or jail you to make you obey. They do not care. There is no fucking rules anymore.
So I guess
There's
really the
only
only way
win and
is to
lose.
destroy them. Is really just destroy
Yes.
them from.
You have to kill the
destroy their
aristocracy. There is no other option.
Kill their whole way of life and operating, and so many things need to change. There's just so many things that need to change
It
simultaneously.
can't be us that do it, because our generation is so locked into. No, but I mean, yes, but also where I'm going with that is why we can't. We're locked into paying for jobs.
Yeah.
We can't leave our financial situations at mid-30. Otherwise, you lose your house, you lose your car, and you're at that point financially where if you lose everything, you're not getting it back. You're going to be homeless for the rest of your life, right? So when you're in your 20s, when you're in your teenage years, because you're still so young and there's enough youth support programs, you can ball fucking hard with the best of them. You can run fast and loose. Because if you end up homeless at 21, chances are you're not going to be homeless by the time you're 31. But if you end up homeless at 35, you're probably going to be homeless for the fucking day you die.
Yeah. It really depends on what support networks you have in place.
And imagine being able to like go out and protest and then come home to your parents supporting you, right? I don't want to be this person because everybody did that to our generation. They told us, you have to be the ones to make it different. And you know what? We did. I'm going to keep it a buck.
Yeah.
If the fucking millennials didn't do what we did to create space for the Zoomers to be the way that things are now, there wouldn't even be any revolutionary sentiment. We'd have all just fucking rolled over underneath the wheel. Our job wasn't to fix everything. Our job was just to body block long enough that the youth could. And I know that sounds fucking awful to hear, but it's true. We were just there to take hits for them. And we're still there taking hits for y'all if you're listening and you're young out there fighting.
That's really what it feels like, and I feel like that is my position. I'm okay with that position. I'm okay to be in the shield wall kind of thing. You know, I'm okay.
Kill me, not the youngin'. The youngin' has so much more going on. I mean, yeah, I'm a hot trans girl, but I can fucking die at 35 and be happy with the life that I put in, with how much I fought against the government, with how much I stood up for Palestine. And there's those quotes like, if you want to know what you had done in the Holocaust, you're doing it right now. I'm fucking proud of myself because I spoke truth to power every time it put me at risk. I went toe-to-toe with the government to the point where they were fucking harassing me on the street and having CSIS up my ass. I'm still going fucking toe-to-toe with CIA and the Mossad with shit I can't even disclose to you on fucking podcast about without getting you into way more bullshit than you even want to be fucking involved in, right? So I can die today, literally this moment, and I'll go to where I need to go because I've done what I needed to do and I've kept my fucking end of the deal the whole fucking way. My ancestors smile proudly upon me. Fascist, can you say the same?
Well, they probably would.
No.
See, I don't know. Like,
I don't think they would.
I guess the question for me is always going to be, in deep within, if they search deep within their heart of hearts, you know, do they know that what they're doing is wrong? Like, do they know that it's evil? Do they know that it's wrong? Do they know that it's bad? I guess that's always going to be the question that plagues me.
I think they do.
Yeah. Or else, why would they be so dodgy? You know what I mean? Like, they're always so dodgy, and they're always so, don't touch me, and I'm gonna sanction you, and I'm gonna, you know, lock you up. It's just, it's so
that's what I was gonna say earlier. Cancel culture doesn't exist on the left. It's primarily a thing of the right. So the right has always been pointing at the left and making accusations about what they're doing, and they say, cancel culture, we can't say the N-word. You legally can say the N-word. You're just not free to say it without repercussions. Now, you know what cancel culture is? Taking away trans people's rights to have our fucking gender marker on our birth certificate, or taking away our ability to fucking have freedom to religion. If you actually take a look at cancel culture, the right is doing it constantly. They're canceling literally anything that falls outside of their purview. And then if you resist it, they say that you're doing cancel culture. No, I am done being gaslighted by these ghouls. This is civil war. It's been civil war, and I'm just ready for it to hit. Civil war is a
culture war. Like, I think that's sort of the difference.
Civil war is a war between the rich and the poor that has been being fought for a very long time since Ronald fucking Reagan, and before that a little bit too.
Yeah, but everyone kind of traces this modern sort of hyper-capitalism bullshit that we're dealing with. Everyone really is tracing it back to Reagan. And I know it can be traced back to
Well, it's because Reagan started deregulation, and he's what gutted the antitrust stuff that actually held back corporations from consolidating power to this level. Yeah. It is actually very apt to blame this on Reagan because it is all fucking disseminated from the decisions that he made in the 80s.
Yeah. Man, the 80s, what a wild time.
Fuck. I wouldn't know. I was born in 89, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm also a child of the 90s and early 2000s. But
technically, I'm a child of the 80s because I'm old enough. Oof.
Ooh, yeah, technically.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
We are coming up on our hour.
Closing thoughts. Burn it all the fuck down.
Burn it all down. Burn it all.
No, it's time. It's time. If you're young and you can hear me and you're able to do this,
burn it down.
I really hate to say this, but if you don't do it, nobody else will. Nobody else is going to do it. You got older generations of millennials and Gen Xers like me who are going to be there with you, who are probably and willing to die to make this happen. But we can't do it without y'all. Y'all are literally the cavalry. We're just the fucking phalanx shield wall with some spears. We've made some progress. But if we don't get the cavalry, we lose. And you are the cavalry. And I need y'all to saddle the fuck up. That's all I have to say.
I think for like kind of my closing sentiment, like kind of piggybacking off of that, if we're kind of using like this battle sort of metaphor and vision kind of thing, like also like not everyone's gonna die, right? Like not everyone dies in the fight, and something has to be rebuilt after. And the people that are around after, like you have to, we're all gonna have to work together more than we've ever worked together. After the battle, people are always left, and you have to rebuild. And we cannot make the same mistake in rebuilding the same bullshit again. You know, we have to rebuild something better.
The aristocracy must be killed.
They need to be eliminated. They can't go this way anymore. So that's kind of that's kind of my closing thoughts. What about you, Ru? Anything?
Oh God almighty. No, just in the off chance, I doubt the chances of this are very high, but Ryan and Liam, I fucking love you, and you are the future, and literally our entire world depends on you, so Big Sis loves you. That's all.
Alrighty, so with that, I just wanted to let everyone know that we do have a Ko-fi. You can support us there. We do have a patron to that is Tink, and Tink wants us all to remember Free Palestine. The people of Gaza, please keep them in your thoughts.
River to the sea, baby.
Yeah. Never forget them.
I'll say this too. If this is the last episode y'all hear from me on, and I'll tell Jay and Rue why afterwards, it's been an honor to be here fucking raging against the establishment and fighting against the darkness and holding on to the light and believing in the power of queers and witchcraft, honestly. Yeah. It's been an honor.
Alrighty, with that, we will sign off here, and we will see you.
Bye, y'all.